Welcome to Deck Analysis and Testing. Today we're looking at Sunavalon and Sunseed and Sunvine. They are earth planets that really love link summoning using zero attack monsters to make zero attack link monsters. What's so impressive with this deck is that one normal monster gets you 2 disruptions, allowing you to play tons of back row or hand traps while still being really consistent. Let's have a look at the cards. First, we have the monsters. We have a copy of Lone Fire Blossom, which searches our 1-card starter, which will be Sunseed Genus Loci. This is a normal monster, but don't be fooled, this 1 card gets you to tons and tons of link material. Next is 1 copy of a Sunseed Twin. This card is our extender. When it's normal special summon, it can revive a Genus Loci from the graveyard, and also you can banish this card and a link monster you control, and if you have 2 or more plant links with the same name, you can revive 1 of them. Next is 1 copy of a Sunseed Shadow. This is really important as part of our combo, so we're playing it. You will see how this card will come up. And also, if you get disrupted on your normal summon, you can always just special summon Sunseed Genus Loci with your skill, and then special summons the Shadow from your hand after you search it with the skill's second effect. And we have 1 copy of Sunvine Maiden. This is our main form of protection. When your opponent tries to target a plant link, you can special summon this card from your hand and negate the target effect, which is really nice. And also, it has another effect of your opponent cannot target Sunavalon or Sunvine spell traps you control with card effects, so it protects your continuous trap as well. And for our remaining monsters, we're playing 2 copies of a Meister. I don't usually play hand traps in my free-to-play decks because they are pretty situational. The good free-to-play hand traps like Skull Meister usually only hit a very specific amount of decks, but because of how the skill works, it returns any monster from your hand to search your Sun Seeds from your deck, so playing a monster hand traps really benefit in this case. Next we have the Spells and Traps. We have 3 copies of Unexpected Die. You can get this from structure decks or from box ships, so it is pretty easy to obtain. We have 1 copy of Sunvine Sowing. This card can special summon a Sunseed from your deck and then you take damage. It's really important as part of your combo. Some people like to play 2 copies, but I just play 1 in this version because you can actually search both of them if you play 2, but it is more bricks, so I decided to only play 1. And then we have 1 copy of a Sunavalon Bloom. This card is our main disruption from the from within the Sunavalon combo, because it is searchable with the Link 4, and when it's activated, you can negate every single face-up monster your opponent controls. It's kind of like Witchcrafters, if you know what this deck does. And also, it gives your monsters a lot of attack. So even if your monsters have 0 attack, just by having your Link 4 point to a Thrasher, this can give your monsters tons of attack and actually 1-hit kill your opponent. And finally, we have some generic traps. We have Horror House, World Legacy Sorrow, because your end board contains a co-linked monster. So basically, this card is just a Omni-Negate that you can just use if you go first. And Time Space Trap Hole is really good if you go first. It is removal without targeting, but you lose a bit of life points. For the extra deck, we're playing 2 copies of Dryas. Technically 1 is fine because we aren't playing a second search target for Dryas. You search Sowing with 1 Dryas and you search the trap with the Link 4, so you don't actually need a second Dryas. You can use any Sunavalon or Sunvine Link 1. But if you have 2 Dryas, you can still play both of them. This card is really good at starting your combos. It searches a Sunavalon spell trap from your deck to your hand, and then when you take damage, you can summon another Sunvine monster from your extra deck. And then we have the Link 2. It doesn't really do anything on field, it's just there as a Link 2. The Link 3 is really good. It revives a Loci from your graveyard and is not hard once per turn, so every time you make this card, you revive a Loci from your graveyard, and it helps you go into your Link 4s. And we have 2 of them. We have the Sunavalon Link 4, which searches the trap, which is in the gate, and we have the non-Sunavalon Link 4, which actually has a decent amount of attack and also has a quick effect to bounce your opponent's monsters by taking half of its attack as damage. And also it can revive itself, which will come up during the Sunavalon combos. Let's have a look at the skill. The skill, you can actually, there are 2 skills that you can use with this deck. There is this one, which is obtainable when you get level 20, and there's the other one that adds 5 Sunavalon extra deck monsters to your extra deck, and that is a drop skill. I think that one is a bit less good, but you can play that if you want. So what this skill does is it basically allows you to search any Sunvine effect monster by returning a monster from your hand to your deck, and that can be any monster. So you can return stuff like hand traps like Valor or Crow or Lancia in the expensive version to grab any Sunvine effect monster that you want. So usually you will use that to grab Sunvine Maiden because that is a target protection. And the second effect allows you to basically summon a Genus Loci from your deck for free by just having a plant monster from your hand or face of field or graveyard or banish, which is really good going second. If you get disrupted, you can just get a Loci for free. And also I guess that is another way you can convert useless stuff like maybe you drew a Shadow or you drew a Sunseed Twin and you have no other ways to get into Loci. You can always just use the second effect of a skill to get yourselves a Loci that way. Okay, so here we have the expensive version. The main difference is that we're just playing more expensive hand traps because of how the skill works. Playing more monster hand traps will help with both the consistency and also give you ways to stop your opponent if you go second, which this deck really struggles with. We have 2 copies of Lancia, we have 3 copies of Effect Valor, we have a double Crow, and we have 3 Lone Fire Blossoms because, again, having monsters is just better. And you could play more unexpected dies, but Lone Fire Blossom is a monster, so there's that. And then the extra deck is exactly the same. Okay, so let me actually show you the combos that this deck can do. There are 2 main ones. There's one that I'm gonna use today, and there's one that you will use if you have a second Sunvine spell trap that you can search with Dryas. So we'll use the expensive version just as a demonstration. You can do the exact same combo for the free-to-play version. So all you need is 1 Genus Loci. That's all you need. You don't even need to use any of the effects of your skills. Just Genus Loci can get you all the way there. And by the way, the website I'm using is dlf2p.com. It's my own website. You can use the same exact simulator that you can see I'm using right now. You just go there in PC. I don't think it really works with your phone, but the simulator is pretty good for testing out combos like these. So what we can do is normal summon Loci, link it off, make the link 1, and then use its effect to search a copy of Sunvine Sowing. Next, we're gonna use the effect of the Sowing to summon a Shadow from our deck. And then this will trigger the effect of Dryas because you take damage from the spell card, which will give you a Sunvine healer. And the healer will gain you a bit of life points. I won't change the life point cap because I can't be bothered to. And then we're gonna link the Seed and the Dryas to make the link 2. And then now we can banish the Shadow from the graveyard to basically summon another link to a zone that it points to. And then now we can make a link 3 using the 2 link monsters that we have in our main monster zones. And then this, when summoned, can bring back a Loci. And then you can now make the link 4 using the Loci and the link 3. And then you can use these 2 links to make another Melias. And then revive back the Loci. And then now you can link these 2 to make the link 4. The link 4... Actually, no. You can't directly do that because you need a link monster first. So, let me go back. What you have to do is use the effect of the Bangladesh now by banishing the 2 link 2s. Like this. And then now that you have a link monster that points to a zone, you can link off the loci for another Dryas, because as you can see, the link 3 doesn't actually point to anything, so you have to make the link 4 first, and now you can use these two to make the link 4. And then that searches your trap, you can set the trap, and that's it. That's your end board. That's monster negate, that negates everything on field, and also a bounce, and that is pretty good for a 1-card combo. And also you might be able to notice that we always have one zone free, so even if your opponent disrupts you, you always will have a free zone for you to summon your maiden, and that will be able to negate a target effect. So that is the benefit of this combo. And let's have a look at the second one. Okay, so for our second combo, we will not be using this today, but it is still very important to know if you decide to play 2 Sunvine Sowings like I have right now. So if you decide to play 2 Sunvine Sowings, you can do this alternate combo, which uses uses all 3 zones that you have in your main monster zone, so it is much more vulnerable to target interruptions because you don't have a zone for you to summon your maiden, but it does give you 1 additional search as well, so that is pretty good if you go first. So the combo is basically the same. At the beginning, you're still gonna make your Dryas, grabbing your sowing used to summon a shadow, and then trigger the effect of Dryas to summon the healer, and then you can make the link 2 using the 2 monsters, and then again banish shadow to summon another link 2, and then and now is where things will get a bit different. We're still gonna make the link 3, but instead of making the link 4 right away, we were gonna make another Melias. So usually in this position you're gonna make link 4, but because you want the additional search from Dryas, which only can be activated if you link summon using Genus Loci in an extra monster zone, you have to clear the extra monster zone first. So the way you can do that is you're gonna use the link 2 and the link 3 to make another Melias, and then that will revive the Loci again, because it's not once per turn. And then now you have a free EMZ, which you can use to link away the Loci to make another Dryas and DMZ, and that will get you your second sowing, and that will be pretty good for follow-up, because it is a hard monster turn, so you can't use it this turn anyway. And then now you will be able to just link away the link 3 and the link 1 to make a Bangalancer, and then use these 2 again to make the Sunavalon link 4, which gets you the trap. And now you can revive back the link 4 by banishing the 2 link 2s. And that will be your end board. It's exactly the same as the first combo, but you also get 1 additional sowing to your hand. But the drawback is that, first of all, you have to play 2 sowings, which is more bricks, and also you have 1 less free zone, free out your combo, which means you can't have a zone to summon your Sunvine Maiden. Okay, now let's have a look at the replays. We are going first, which is amazing. This deck is really good going first, and not so much going second. And it is only worse that in this free-to-play version we don't have access to expensive hand traps, which help going second. So going first just really helps. So basically we're going to do the exact same combo that I showed. We're going to do the first one because we only are playing 1 copy of Sowing. And you can see this combo in action within Duel Links. So a healer will gain us a bit of life points, and then we can make the link 2, Shadow Banish to make a second link 2, make the link 3. So actually just fast forward this because I already showed the combo off. And then we're going to make the link 4, make another link 3, revive back the Loci, Bangalancer, revive itself, link into Dryas, and then make the link 4. And then now we grab Bloom, and then we can also use a skill to grab ourselves a Maiden for protection, and then we can set, and that is 4 disruptions plus target negate. Our opponent is playing Lunar Lights, and not using Celine for whatever reason, but that's fine. When he normal summons the Kaleido Chick, we can just immediately bounce it back to prevent him from sending anything from his deck or extra deck. he can make a Leo Dancer, but we do have the new free-to-play staple trap Time Space Trap Hole, which does not target and does not destroy. So we're just gonna spin that Leo Dancer right back to the extra deck, but it is not the end of his turn, but it doesn't really matter too much. We still have plenty of disruptions. It's gonna Luna like a Blue Cat, which destroys itself during the end phase because of Tiger. Summoning an Emerald Bird, we can negate the Emerald Bird, preventing him from sending anything funny from his hand. We can use the effect of Bangalancer during our own turn to bounce, and then use the effect of the Link 4 to tribute our own Bangalancer. And I forget that Tiger has an effect when it's destroyed, which summons the Blue Cat again. So if I didn't destroy the Tiger, I would have won this turn, but I guess he lives another turn. So making Thrasher is really good because when you target a Link 4, it basically becomes a 4k beatstick, and that is a one-hit kill. And while the Link 4 points to Thrasher, and you have the trap, the Link 4 also becomes a 4k attack monster, so even though he can make Leo Dancer again, he can't actually beat over my monsters. And also, my Link 4 cannot be targeted for attack, so he's forced to attack the Thrasher. As he tries to board wipe, you can banish the Sowing to protect from destruction, and yeah, he's just gonna scoop. Okay, let's have a look at game 2 once again, going first. Just really nice to win the coin flip. And we open combo, that is combo. But we're not gonna use the Loci because we did draw the unexpected die, which is slightly better because it doesn't use a normal summon, and also you can keep the Loci for follow-up, or we can just return it to the deck to grab something like a Maiden using our skill. So again, just the exact same combo, it's just fast forward. It's just insane, this deck is insane. It's a single normal monster just burns through basically your entire extra deck. So after you do this combo, you're left with like 2 cards in your extra deck. And don't forget, you already have 3 extra cards that you get from your skill. So this single 1-card combo uses 9 extra deck monsters. It's kind of insane. Anyway, our opponent's gonna set free and pass. So let's just go normal summon Twin and then grab back a Loci, make Thrasher, and that is 4,000 attack. That's attack for lethal. Our opponent's going to Ice Dragon Prison, but we do have the counter trap, which negates anything. So the Ice Dragon's Prison is just going to be negated. He's going to Droplet, which is completely fine. We can attack again, and it is not the end of our turn. So we can just use our trap, make our Link 4 gain a lot of attack, and just attack for lethal. Okay, finally we have the expensive version, and we are going second. So let me show you what this deck can do if you're willing to spend some gems or money on good hand traps. And even though we only have one, it's probably enough considering that our opponent doesn't even have a monster on field that is face up. And we do have the Dryad, so let's just pop off. We did draw the Sowing, unfortunately, so that is a bit of a shame. Our opponent does have an interruption, and it is non-targeting, so no Maiden. And also, Maiden only works on Link monsters anyway, so disrupting our main deck monsters really hurts our deck. We could play stuff like the Lance, but we can still kind of play through it, even though we can't really do the exact same combo. We can still at least end on a Link 4 with the help of the second effect of our skill, giving us another free monster. We'll at least end on a bounce, and also end on a Veiler in hand. We're gonna attack over our opponent's monster. It's another Luna-like player. Okay, we're gonna... he's gonna go 10 key, grabbing himself a Tiger, and then on normal summon of Kaleido Chick, again, let's just bounce it right back. He's gonna go Tiger, but he only has 1 target for Tiger, and it's Yellow Marten. So he's forced to summon the Yellow Marten and then use the one in hand so that he can get 2 level 4s on the field. He's gonna go Tiger King, we can go Veiler, preventing him from getting another 10 key. And then he can try to detach just to get a monster in the graveyard, but yeah, that's kinda it. Yeah.